Alright guys, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is I want to talk to you about the R files. Now, if I go in, and I'm going to use the car package as my example right now, the one from, the one that I just downloaded off CRAN. As you can see, I don't have much writing here because I want you to understand what you're seeing here and why it looks this way. If we go into R, you'll see what this is. Take a look. You'll see it's a bunch of .R files. Now, what are in these .R files? Well, let me pull it up. And if you take a look at what this is, it's a function. Adaptive kernel is a function in the car package. So if you look at this, it says, here's exactly what this is. Here's what it looks like. But you'll notice it comes through. It says, okay, I'm going to do all my calculations. And then I'm going to present a list. And I'm going to return my list, right? But I'm also going to define the class of my list. Now, what you're doing is you're defining classes, you're defining R functions, you're writing the software itself. This is the software you'll have people use. Now, if I come down here, what's one of the things we know we use? We know we used NCV test in BUDA555, right? So if I write this, you'll see a couple different things here. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to write methods. We're going to write a bunch of different stuff here. So we're going to look at a non-constant variance test. Now, an NCV test, it says function model, use method NCV test. Well, what does it mean use method? Well, what it says is, if you're going to give me a model, is it an LM? Is it of class LM? Is it of GLM? What is it? So if you're going to give me an LM, I want to use NCV.test LM, okay? So if you take a look at what this is, it's going to come back and it's going to say exactly, here's NCV test, all right? Here's NCV test. But look at what it does. It comes down here and it says, class of the result is a chi-square test. Well, why does that matter? Well, because we have generics that interact with certain classes, such as a print. You guys know print works for everything. When you guys type in a model name, what you're doing is you're typing in the print function, okay? So what you're saying is print chi-square test, okay? So something that has a chi-square test must have the things it needs right here. So something that has a chi-square test as its class has a formula, it has a formula name, it has a chi-square, it has a degrees of freedom, it has a p, it has a test, okay? So when we run print, what it allows us to do is says anything that has a chi-square test as a class will allow this function to be run on it, all right? So that's what I mean by defining a class. Now, this is something you may have talked about in some other courses, but it's very simple. What you're doing is you're setting up interactivity between functions and generic statements. Another generic you guys use a lot is summary. Another generic you guys use a lot is print. Another generic you guys use a lot is predict. So a predict function, you want to use a specific class, right? So how you use it, what you think about it, what you do with it, that's everything to us, okay? That's how we set up, that's how we work on this. So as you're thinking about this, as you're moving through these, you know, go take a look. Go take a look at some other stuff. If we look at outlier test, you can see what it does. We have a class of outlier test and then a print for an outlier test. This is what allows us to control the blather, so it's just not printing this list over and over again. So as you look at this and as you think about it, keep this in mind, okay? You can see there's a bunch of other stuff here as well. If I go in, I'll show you guys an R package. Do I have them on here? You know, this is another R package I wrote. This is the Rich Fusion package from way back when. I write everything in a single function, just so you can see it. You know, what I'll do is I'll write my print statements. I'll write my classes in a different way using S4. There's S4 and S3. I'm not going to get into that with you guys. You guys can go look at it yourself. But it's something you can use. If you take a look at this, I think I wrote this package in 2013 was the last update. When's the description of this? Yeah, anyway, it's not going to let me do that right now. But, you know, that's kind of what this is. That's how we move through it. You know, the R file is whatever you want it to be. You can write a bunch of little ones, which is great for a big package. For a small package where everything integrates one to the other, using something like what I have here, single file, isn't such a bad idea. as it continues to grow and as it grows out, that's something you can look at and you can find useful. So, all right, guys, as always, let me know if you have any questions.